So since Lane Kiffin has recently been hired as the new head coach of Ole Miss and is officially back in the Southeastern Conference, I thought it would be an appropriate time to make a video on this unconventional coach. I want to discuss where Lane has been, the controversies, the successes, the Twitter dramas, and ultimately this guy's story thus far. So let's just start from the beginning. Lane Salot Kiffindor was born wearing a white visor and jacket on May 9, 1975, in Bloomington, Minnesota, to his mother Robin and his famous father Monty. Monty was a longtime defensive coordinator in the NFL, spending most of his days in the league with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This football background helped birth Lane's obsession with the sport, and the game became a defining characteristic of his identity. Jumping way ahead, Lane graduated from Bloomington Jefferson High School in 1994 and moved on to the next level, playing at Fresno State University until 1996. In his senior season, he transitioned from a backup quarterback to a student assistant coach. This is where he discovered a love for coaching. After graduating from Fresno State in 1998, Lane married Layla Greer Reeves in the summer of 2001. The couple had 3 children, Landry, Presley, and Monty. Lane waited through small role jobs with different programs until eventually landing a gig as a tight end coach at USC in 2001. The next year, he was promoted to being the receivers coach, and in 2005, Lane was named the offensive coordinator. In 2007, Kiffin was named the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, the team with definitively the best uniforms in the NFL. At the time, Kiffin was just 31 years old, making him the youngest head coach of an NFL team in the modern era. Things did not work out great for Kiffin with the Raiders, though. After a measly 4-12 record in 2007, owner Al Davis reportedly tried to force Kiffin to resign. But not wanting to forfeit $2 million, Kiffin understandably told Davis no and kept coaching. Then on September 30th, 2008, Kiffin answered a call from Davis that probably went a little something like this. "Hello? You're fired." Lane landed on his feet, though, and was named the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers in November of 2008. The Tennessee program at the time was not as ugly as it is today. The year before had produced a disappointing 5-7 record, but the team before that finished ranked 12th in the nation with a 10-win record. As UT is a storied SEC program, Kiffin was thankful for the opportunity. In 2009, Kiffin got the Vols back to bowl eligibility, and even went toe-to-toe with Nick Saban's Alabama, who would go on to win a national championship. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. Specifically that kid, that one right there. He literally blocked 2 field goals. While with the Vols, Kiffin sparked some controversy, publicly accusing Florida head coach Urban Meyer of breaking NCAA rules by calling a recruit who was visiting Tennessee at the time. While doing this, though, Kiffin broke a SEC rule by mentioning the recruit by name. Yeah, so kinda embarrassing, I know. He then caused even more of a stir by telling receiver recruit Alshon Jeffrey that if he went to South Carolina, he would, quote, end up pumping gas for the rest of his life like all the other players from that state who had gone to South Carolina. Jeffrey signed with the Gamecocks anyway, was later selected in the second round of the 2012 NFL Draft, became a Pro Bowler in 2013, and even won a Super Bowl. All while Kiffin was probably sitting at home on the couch, smack-talking someone on Twitter, and scarfing down a family-sized bag of potato chips. In 2010, Kiffin ditched the Vols for the USC head coaching job, a decision he would never regret in the slightest. At the time, USC was under ridiculously severe sanctions by the NCAA because Reggie Bush had accepted money from an agent, something the stingy NCAA despises because they want all the money for themselves and nobody else. So Kiffin was already in a predicament. Available scholarships were limited and a bowl ban was in place. Players were transferring out and the program was in shambles. Still, the Trojans went 8-5 in 2010 and had an even better year in 2011. Despite bowl ineligibility, Kiffin led USC to a 10-2 record in his second year. Had the bowl ban not been in place, USC would have competed for the Pac-12 championship. In 2012, Kiffin kicked the year off with more controversy. Finally, he was named a voter in the coaches poll, but was then pressured to resign from this honor after voting his own team as the preseason number 1. That year, the Trojans went 7-6 and lost to arch-rival UCLA. Things got worse in 2013 when USC dropped its first 2 conference games of the year against Washington State and Arizona State. After getting thumped 62-41 by Arizona State, Kiffin was called off the team bus by athletic director Pat Hayden and was fired at the airport. Kiffin considers this moment to be the lowest in his career. The following January, Kiffin was inducted into the Nick Saban Coaching Rehabilitation Clinic, which has helped the likes of Steve Sarkisian, Butch Jones, and Mike Locksley. Kiffin served as offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for the Tide from 2014 to 2016. Here, Kiffin accomplished arguably his most impressive feat of coaching by turning running back Blake Sims into a solid quarterback. Kiffin helped the Tide get to the first ever college football playoff, then called a bunch of screen passes for some reason and got beat by Ohio State's third-string quarterback. Saban seemingly had little time for Kiffin's antics, typically barring him from speaking to the press and constantly chewing him out on the sideline. One major controversy surrounding Kiffin came way of a rumor about the OC and Saban's daughter in the fall of 2015. Though it has been highly disputed by those close to the situation, a rumor spread around the college football world that Kiffin was in a intimate relationship with Saban's newlywed daughter. Regardless of the rumor's authenticity, it did not help Kiffin's image. A few months later, Kiffin and his wife filed for divorce, which only further fueled the rumors. Still, Kiffin continued to coach for the Tide, but on December 12, 2016, he was named the next head coach of Florida Atlantic. Yet with another playoff in Alabama's future, Kiffin elected to maintain his duties as OC until after Alabama's postseason run. Saban, though, supposedly frustrated with Kiffin's lack of dedication to his program during the playoff picture, fired the OC on January 2nd, prior to the national championship game against Clemson, which the Tide would go on to lose 35-31. And of course, Kiffin tweeted about that loss. From 2017 to 2019, Kiffin amassed a record of 26-13 at FAU, had an 11-win season, a 10-win season, and won 2 Conference USA championships. Now Lane has just been announced as the next head coach of Ole Miss, another school battling its own self-inflicted problems. The 4-year contract will ultimately pay the coach $16.2 million when it's all said and done. How he will perform is still up in the air, but Ole Miss is praying Kiffin has learned from his past mistakes and continues the trend we have seen in recent years. Speaking of the past, let's quickly recap some of Kiffin's most infamous tweets. So how do you think Kiffin will do at Ole Miss? Will he get vengeance on Nick Saban in Alabama, or will he fall to the wayside and be looking for yet another job within a few years? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one. This is my first animated video, but I think I'm going to make some more in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.